Hey everybody, welcome in. I am super touched tonight to share something with you. And if you're watching the replay, please hit the like and just hashtag replay crew. That would be great. Okay, I saw that Guardian Warrior. Thank you. I appreciate everybody coming in tonight. I am super excited to talk to you about the name change too. It's nothing huge yet, but it's for the future, and hopefully it will be a really great thing and end up being something amazing for my family and for like legacy, like we've talked about before, as to why I started my channel, which was legacy to my children. So tonight, I'd like to welcome in those who first, let me thank Shawnee Groves, who sent folks over from her live, and tomorrow night she will be live. I believe she said her time zone, which is Central 9 p.m. Eastern. You can straighten me out with that, Shawnee Groves. So that would be 10 p.m. Eastern, EST. I mean Central, 9 p.m., 10 p.m. Eastern. Passamaquoddy was in here first, and she is my lovely lady who sent me this beautiful, thoughtful gift. Duncan 1900 Homestead, welcome, welcome. Thank you, Guarding Warrior, coming in. Crazy Life Homestead, Mo, good to see you. Hey, Silly Lily. Aw, thank you. Appreciate everybody coming over from Shawnee Groves. That was a good live tonight. Shawnee Groves, you're allowed to do that. Yes. Bathroom breaks are totally allowed. I totally understand after doing a live that you need one. In fact, I actually ran and did that too. Yes, appreciate all the thumbs up. Hey, Glenn, my fellow Florida gardener. How to garden. He's closer to Central. Amazing gardener. Working on all the things up there too. And I think I'm almost to the end. Hey, girl, dad, and Mike. Good to see you both too. Yay! Okay, guys, I first of all want to apologize because my name got longer and I know it's already kind of long. So, when we're in chats and stuff, if you're on a laptop, feel free to highlight me. If not, you can just use the initials. I totally get it. Um, the reason I'm going to go into that first is South Florida Sunshine Tropicals is the .com that I could purchase. For some reason, South Florida Sunshine.com was taken, but I also liked adding the tropicals to it because that is my zone. That is what I learned about after I failed with annuals in my first two gardens. And that was through David the Good. And for me, he is like the Florida food forest king. Um, and recently I saw like Epic Gardening has started a Florida Food Forest channel that's tied into his Epic Gardening. And at first I was like, what the heck, man? You're from Cali. But then I realized I didn't recognize the wife, but the husband made a comment underneath one of the videos that she made on that channel, which is tied into Epic Gardening. If you look at her about, a lot of it says Epic Gardening at the end, like the Instagram and everything like that. But they are also a Florida gardening channel. Um, and I'll link it later what they are. And I bought actually, I think I got my red DACA from him. I don't know if he goes by UV or OOF. I'm not really sure. But I got my red DACA banana that looks like it is taking. And I got some seeds for him for butterfly pea, but it's a multicolored butterfly pea. So it's got like the whites and different color flowers. So yeah, beautiful plant. I haven't planted them yet. I am just trying to get the butterfly peas that I already had to take, and so far 2 took out of the ones that I had, and they're very slow starting. Um, But tonight, the sweet, sweet surprise was, as many of you know, we lost Rezzy, and I was devastated because she keeps me company on my lap when Hannah, my daughter, is at work. And she was just the sweetest rescue. I mean, I would talk to her about how we rescued her, and she would pay attention to me and get all happy. Like she totally understood what I was saying to her and just give me hugs and, just hug me and like kiss me. Like you could tell that she just had such gratitude of being rescued from, I believe it actually was a kill shelter. It hadn't, like, the one that we got Rosie from was not a kill shelter. It's called Peggy Adams. So this one was a county shelter, and we actually drove down and got her during one of Malachi's family visits when he was still in foster care. So I remember it going short, his visit, and we're signing the papers for Resi, and we're down in Broward. And I'm like, gotta get back home. I actually had to call my husband and be like, they're already at the house with Malachi. Can you please, stop by the house until we get up there? We just got a dog to it was basically Resi was to come alongside our pug who, was so slowly getting dog Alzheimer's, and she was getting close to going over the Rainbow Bridge, and Resi brought life back, just breathed life back into her, and we got more years out of her than we expected. So, what Passamaquoddy did, and she put the name of the channel who made it. Hold on. This is the channel that made this dog. That is a representation of, and I think she did great with the colors because she had all these colors in her fur. Um, and cute, cute, like put this little made with love heart on her. And she's just the right size. Like this was the size of Resi. So it's like, oh, I can hug her and recall all those hugs that I got from Resi. And my daughter she didn't know about it. And I put Resi next to, we have a stuffed pug that we call, Dora. And I put her next to Dora. And I don't know if I can bring that picture up. I'm going to try. And my daughter came out later and just was in total tears. She was so touched, and she wanted, Passamaquoddy, she wanted you to know that, like, big thank you and, how much it meant to her, and it meant a lot to me too. She was just the cutest thing and just the right size. That's exactly, like, how big Resi was, so it's perfect. I love it. I love her. She's just wonderful. Crystal did a great job with, she said she in the card, like, she's like, "I had, like, limited, stuff to go off of, but here it is," and she did a great job, so, yeah, just so cute. Mwah. I don't get anything on her. But, yeah, that was just the sweetest thing ever. I'm just so touched. That was above and beyond, but that's what these friends that we meet on here unexpectedly just kind of bless us sometimes. I'm so grateful for friends like that. Hey, storms, rays, and cats, welcome in. How to garden, mine actually bloomed and berries formed, is it a month ago? They already went through one cycle and it looks, I don't know if they're going to go through another cycle because we got that cold weather. And but I've got some off of it. They are in pots, and then I have one that I don't know if my son pulled it up a little bit because it's like the roots, I've got to put more soil in there. But all of a sudden, it looks like a pumpkin seed somehow got in there. And I don't know if that was from him either because I had pumpkin seeds I had scattered near the bananas just to see what they would do because they were molding in a bag. They are either the crookneck, they might not be pumpkins, they might be crookneck squash. So that was why I was asking Food Forest Permaculture what he does when he has stuff come up like out of the compost pile or volunteers if he moves them. I'm terrified to move it because it's in there with my mulberry. I know mulberries, though, are pretty well, very resilient. I'm not sure about the one, the Bryce's, is it very best? World's Best mulberry, I'm not sure, and those are delicious. They don't have, like, the sa like, real bite that my Everbearing has. She would yeah, super creative, and yeah, that was just wonderful. I'm gonna have to go over and visit her now. It's so hard because yeah, girl, did she passed away like my mom did, like, the same it was heart failure, and, that the breed, Schnauzers tend to die of heart failure, and I was kind of reluctant to get one again, but then we found Rosie, and she's a larger version, or so we thought, a larger version of Rosie, but she's more of an alpha, so she's been interesting, to get used to, really high strung, she's, 2 years old and full of energy, and she prefers the females of the house to the males, which is really usually the female dogs kinda are drawn to the males, but she's coming around. She's coming around, and I got to shave her today, but I definitely had to give her some, special sauce and, yeah, calm her down, and I noticed, and maybe you guys have dealt with this with your animals, she looks like she might have some type of, dermatitis. Okay, you'll leave the squash. Okay. Yeah, thank you, Miss Sharon, as always, for doing links and everything. Okay, I'll leave it. I'll leave it. I hope it's the crook neck because those were huge, and, I hope I get some of those, but either way, I win if it's the sugar pumpkins that were my mom's, like, when she was passing, I set up a little fall I don't know, visual, I don't know what you would call it, like a decoration with a sugar pie pumpkin, a little white pumpkin, and then a bouquet of, fall colored flowers and roses for her, and so I saved the seeds for both. Um Oh, I don't blame you, I know you're up really early. Oh, no, you have the crud. Oh, feel better. Get your rest, like Shawnee said, get those renewed cells. In fact, I am looking at I indulged tonight. I haven't had chocolate ice cream in quite a while, and Haagen-Dazs was BOGO, and I had my daughter get me some and get me cones, and it's gone already because it's like 14 ounces. It's not even a full pint anymore. Um, and it's totally gone. It was like Belgian chocolate chip with, Belgian chocolate chips. So yeah, it's gone. I know, the little yeah, the button eyes are adorable, and her little nosy. Yep, she's so cute, and these are posable. I remember, Passamaquoddy was saying that too, that the ears were posable. So, yeah, just adorable, and just the right size. I can't believe she got the size of Rezzy right. I think that's the hardest thing, getting used to, this dog that we have now can somersault. I've never seen that before. She's just so full of energy. She will jump up on the couch and actually somersault on the couch. Like, she rolls all around, she's all hyper, but then she will actually somersault, and I'm like, "Wow, we should really lean into that and see if we can, train her to do that on command." Yeah, I'm hoping it's not a food allergy. I'm really hoping because I'm making her food. She came with it though. She had it, so I'm hoping we can clear it up. It might just be dermatitis, and she's just not like right now we don't have her on a lot of fat, and I heard you can kind of add coconut oil or even use coconut oil topically on it. But yeah, hey, Hey, diversity, love, and who else did I just see come in, I think? Oh, it was diversity, love. Okay. I saw that pink and I wasn't sure. I thought I saw it before. If you ever have a dog or puppy experiencing digestive. Yeah, she has pumpkin in her food. I'm currently making her food and I spoke to actually a dog nutritionist who by chance were going up. We by chance found the place because we were going up to get Rezzy's ashes, and right next to the vet that, we went to pick them up, there is a place that does training and dog obedience, but they also do training for, what Rosie would be good at, agility. They do agility training. Hey, badass thing, welcome in. Oh my gosh, that's a huge wow. That's an interesting combination. Yeah, so kinda hyper like a young Boston Terrier, and yeah, she is about 20 pounds. She was 19.5 when we got her, and she's probably put on a little weight. She's kinda what's funny is we were talking about how she's a combination between our 2 dogs. Between she's like that little, like, chunk, but she's not really huge, but she's just got that girth to her body that was like our pug. But sh her coloring and her long legs and, the breed is like Rezzy, so yeah, we're very happy with her, it's just she's very barky too, like at my husband and my son, and, she is my shadow dog, so if I go to the bathroom, she's there, if I do anything, she's there, and I'm afraid of tripping over her. Oh my goodness, 23 inches in diameter for just the neck, wow. People must, like, look at that dog and like, not visiting that house for, lifting anything, the five-finger discount." Oh, that's fine, I totally understand diversity love. I actually was, Shawnee was working on her hours, and I've watched some of her stuff on our TV, and then I go and comment. I still actually have to go and comment, over on Laura's for, Hedgehog's Homestead because I watched some of hers and didn't get to comment because I was on my TV, and, I think Barry's too. But, yeah, that was the big news is eventually doing a backyard nursery, and, we'll see how it goes. I don't know if we can do it in the HOA. I was actually talking to Glenn about this today. Not sure because this is not ag land, and they do come and inspect the property sometimes. And really what I wanted to do was, yeah, do some of my plants, but what I wanna do is actually get in there for wholesale buying. And of course, because I love plants and getting them wholesale, woohoo, is awesome. And then, reselling them to the public. Yeah, exactly. They are a beautiful animal, but not everyone should own yeah, and there's just certain breeds, like, people need to be aware of their needs. W Because Redsie was mixed with some other type of dog, like possibly poodle, Yorkie, we're not really sure. We called her our Schnorky Wawa. She was a lot more mellow, but a purebred Schnauzer is like a German working dog for the farm, and they can be high energy. I mean, I watched that short where they show the sheepdogs and, um, I forget the type of sheepdog it is, but they're used for herding cattle and sheep, and they're just running like the wind, and the guy is either on an ATV or a motorcycle next to him, and he's like, "And you're surprised they're being destructive because you left them in your apartment the whole day." She needs to run, we need to throw the ball, so my daughter is walking her, when she comes home and things like that. Boxer's English Bulldog. Yeah, oh my gosh, I love just those sweet we call them smooshy face. We do, the English Bulldog, like, Dora had that smushy face. "Hey, Cece, welcome in." Yeah, it's just around the house. She's pretty good about walking, like, on the leash in front of us, of course. She is not good at recall right now with the distractions of outside out front. My son let her out while I was fixing cones because we had to paint our driveway. That's the new thing because, as many of you know, I live in an HOA and the management company is over the HOA board, and this new management company is going through and being a little picky. Before we couldn't even like, there was people who wanted to paint their driveway, and they were having a hard time getting, permission to do it. It's their house. It's crazy. And now they have a certain color, and they want people doing that because the houses are getting older, and it does look so much better. It's super bright, like, when you're out there in the sun and you're painting it. I came into the house, like, and I'm seeing spots because it was just so bright, I didn't even realize it. Yeah, the cats need the training. Let me know how that goes. I was trying to look. Ooh, yeah, I'm afraid of that because I am Grace is not my middle name, but between yeah, that's the hardest thing. The small dogs do go fast. Um, we that's why we grabbed her. There was another lady actually looking at her behind us, and we grabbed her. GT, welcome in, GT. Thank you for coming in. Okay, I totally understand that. I totally get that. But, right now she knows how to sit. She's learning lay down. She's learning stay. We have to do more practice with stay and recalling her to us, like, in the backyard, and, get her used to that, and then do it on a long leash outside where all the distractions are because she when she got out, she started to head towards, thank God, the back of the community because the back isn't the main street. The main street's the opposite way, the exit of the community. She could have been killed because it's a busy street, and, that scared me because she was not listening. I even went and got her treats in the house and shook them. The saving grace was her new harness, which is like a Disney princess harness. Uh, she somehow stuck her front leg and got it caught. So she was looking at me like, "I'm screwed. Like, I can't go running off now." And I caught up with her. Oh, okay, I got what you're saying, yeah. They're supposed to, I believe, walk beside you, is what I see, and the trainers will just loop them around until they get that idea of walking beside rather than in front, rather than behind. Um, Our pug could not grab the concept. I loved our pug, but pugs are I can't figure out if they're dumb or just stubborn. She was very hard to potty train, and she thought she was like an I don't know, like I was having her lead a sled, and she just and for some reason, when she would do that, because she would get exercise, she would decide to stop at everybody's grass and do a very big poop. So we would end up running around in our backyard because it was like, "Yeah, we don't wanna be picking up these big poops on everybody's lawn." Because I am not kidding, she would stop on almost every other lawn and just we were like, "Where is this all coming from? You're only, like, this long. Where are these huge poops coming from?" Yeah, that would be good for your climate. Although the huskies and malamutes can get mouthy, that's for sure. Labradors are great because they're very, like, They wanna please, but they're very food oriented. Shepherds, I don't know if I would wanna have one as a rescue because these are rescue dogs that I have. So she's got some issues, I think, for with the males, and that's common with rescue dogs. Let's see. Yeah, our what's so funny, you mentioned that, she's fine in stores. I've taken her in Home Depot, I've taken her into PetSmart, she's fine, but she considers her home her territory, she considers our car her territory to protect, and I mean, we'll be at say, a red light, and somebody will go across the crosswalk, and she is just like, "I will rip your face off. Do not, get near this car and my people." Oh, you had a Bouvier de Flanders? Havanese are sweet, and they're such cute dogs. And dachshunds, I believe I read one time that they are a very common dog that will bite people. I was surprised to hear that. Those German breeds, you just don't never know. Just never know. Like, look at Yorkies. Yorkies are just so tiny, but man, they will rearrange your face if they could, if they could get to it. I changed my name because it's the .com that I could get, and in the future, I plan on hopefully doing a backyard nursery. Nothing huge, too old to do a huge nursery, but just a backyard tropical nursery, selling many tropical plants for food forests, which is kind of common, like up in like Central Florida. We have a lot of them. We have them below me, and we have them to the west of me. We don't have so many in my area, but I'm not in an ag area, so I'm hoping I'll be able to do it. Oh, sweet. Gracie. Yeah, we named our girl Rosie, which in the beginning it was like we called her Rezzy quite a few times. Hey, A, good to see you. Um, we called her Rezzy a couple times, but what was funny was the first time we went into PetSmart to get her, um, her treats and stuff, the only dog she barked at was this other dog. This lady was in the, same aisle as us. And for some reason, this lady was either trying to train her own dog not to react and kept walking it by Rosie. And she's just like, we just brought her out of um, the rescue. So I was getting a little ticked. I was like, okay, this is a brand new dog. And I don't need this right now. Come to find out, she named her dog Rosie because I heard her once we got over to the next aisle. Nice. Okay. Thank you, silly Lily. It's funny, she'll follow me around the house and follow me in the backyard, but all the distractions and smells out on the front lawns because we have dogs, of course, in the neighborhood that get walked. Whoops. Yeah, she'll take off. Hey! Oh my gosh, so good to see you. What do you mean you're finally awake, girl? I know about your Saturday nights over there. Mm-hmm. At Swoops. Let's see. What else am I missing? But thank you. I'm happy to have you, Jamie. And Jamie's got like, I don't know. She got inherited a green thumb. She's doing so good with her gardening. Do they, or are you being sarcastic? A lot of companies are starting to put up signs, no dogs, because people who have the little dogs take them everywhere, including in restaurants, which is code violation. You're not supposed to have that unless they're outside and, like, for cafes, you can usually get away with it. And, the people wouldn't listen and would still be like, "Oh, it's my emotional support pet. It has to sit in the booth with me while food's being served." Um, so yeah, I'm seeing a lot more, signs go up. Oh, okay, they are. Yeah, see, I felt weird because of Black's Tropical, at least their name's shorter. I wish, I could add it to a shorter name. But yeah, somebody had already taken southfloridasunshine.com, and I really just wanted a .com and not, like, the other letters. I didn't yeah, I've heard that. Oh, you were young when your family had Lucky. And they're protective too, little dachshunds. I feel bad for dachshunds because they end up usually having, back issues because of being so long. Poor little vertebrae. I had a Spitz collie that was very protective. It bit a preacher on the butt, but would let any belong in the house. That's hilarious. Oh my gosh. Yeah, they do. They aim to please and they are goofy. Although, because if it is a purebred lab, they can also be a little nutty. I knew somebody who had one and their lab was a nut and uh they couldn't keep her. They ended up, I think, adopting her out. But before they did, when she would go outside, I don't know what was in their yard, but that dog was just a digger. I mean, could dig like 4-foot deep holes. Oh, that's cute. Has a Cajun bloodline. Boudreaux. No, they really do. I missed what that was. No, they really do. Oh, you take disco naps for Saturday, I like that. That's awesome. Yeah, I wish I got a nap today, I was feeling it. We've had overcast weather all day, so I definitely feel it when it's overcast. Yeah, you're doing great. Girl, are you kidding? Doing your best. You are doing your best. Looks great. No paperwork, so no and get out. I don't know what that means. I'm not sure. Yeah, Goldens are so sweet and lovable. You do? My family was in the restaurant business. It's a code violation. You can't have animals in a restaurant where you serve food. Um, I don't even know, like, you'll notice where they have those, like, cat cafes, and now I think they do, like, puppy cafes. It's a whole separate enclosed room. So, I don't know how they work that out with the code, but they're always, like, in a separate enclosed room where you would maybe bring your drinks, but it's not out where they're actually serving the food. Oh, your sister had 3 Goldens. Yeah, I have a cousin that did the Visulas, and she did, like, hunting trials with them, but, like, for competition. Like, she started to even get on horseback and do stuff with them, and they won quite a few things. I used to tell her when I would see pictures of them piled together sleeping, I'm like, "They look like a pile of fried chicken because 'cause they're that color." Aw. Yeah, well, this little girl wants to sleep in the bed, but she'll take it over and think it's hers, so we can't allow her to do that because of her personality right now. Oh, funny. I've seen that down here. Yeah, I've seen that down here. Yep. Oh, okay. Yeah, the paper, they have to yep, you have the licensing, they have to be able to do a job. Oh, no, not the trash pandas. I hope they're not digging up any of your stuff. Oh, they both do. I would think they would because they sell their, food and oh, they have the bone they give them the little treats. Cool. What? They commit I have never heard that. That's horrible. Because they just were nuts? Or because they were so loyal to their family, they were distraught? That's horrible. I'm so sorry. Oh, nice. Well, then I'll have to take her to Tractor Supply. She's very good in stores. She lets strangers pet her. It's the funniest thing. But as soon as you get her in our house or in our car, which she thinks is somehow her domain because we're in there, I don't know. I can't figure it out. She is very like protective. Gary, what's up? Good to see you. Now I just hope like when I go in other people's side chats that they know it's me because of changing the branding a bit. I can't go anywhere without them, so to sneak them in the stroller. Yeah, that's hard to teach the younger ones to be quiet, pretend like they're a baby. I totally I totally get it. And if I didn't have my kids and stuff, I totally get people who do it. Like I'm not really trying to judge. I'm just saying like it's hard on the restaurant because it can be a code violation and they can get in trouble for it, having pets, like, right at the table inside the restaurant around the food. But, yeah, so right now, I mean, it's been a huge adjustment, going from the personality of Rezzy and even Dora before Rezzy, both were submissive, both were, that type of personality, although Rezzy would do what we would call jealousy pee. When Malachi was little, if we were giving Malachi all the attention, suddenly Rezzy would like he had those ABC puzzles. Rezzy would find a corner and pee on it, so it would like seep under there, and we were like, we couldn't believe it. We were shocked because she was the sweetest little thing. Cool. Are you playing on it? Are you touring with them, Garrett? That's awesome. That's awesome. I didn't know they had new stuff out. And then you and Gear are usually the ones talking music and side chat. Thank you, Miss Sharon. Yes, please remember to hit the like. I've had some weird things going on too with my lives. I don't know if it's happened with anybody else with your videos or your lives, but it will show that, say, I've had 70 something views after the live ends. And then what they will do is recalculate those views later on and like 10 will be bots or something. They'll take away 10 views. So, yeah, thank you. Every bit helps. And of course, you know what I forgot to do? I did not monetize the live. I always forget to hit that button. But then, like, sometimes it gives you guys um, commercials. Mm. Just when you adopt and foster, really be realistic about it, is what I have to say. Um, there's certain things that are very difficult to change. Uh, and for us too, I notice it, and I don't know if something happened because they do not necessarily, they have their hands full, we'll just say. It's a broken system, they have their hands full, and on those family visits with a broken family, with all kinds of different special needs with the children, things can happen, and I do sometimes wonder if something happened to our son because he cognitively seemed better, um then he got worse. So I don't and, like, he would come home, like he came home all wet one time. He would come home sometimes with mom tried to feed him spicy food, and he had a reflux problem and milk allergy. Hey, Crystal! Thank you for coming in. I love it. You did such a great job. She loved it. Absolutely. Oh, you did a great job, and she's just the right size. She fits in my lap just like Rezzy would. So thank you so much. You did excellent. Yeah, Passamaquoddy asked me for that. I was wondering what she was doing with that. It was very sweet of her, and you did a wonderful job. It brought to like my daughter was, I could see all puffy-eyed when she saw Rezzy next to her stuffed animal that looks like a pug. Oh, thank you. Yeah, it's really a sweet gift that you have. Oh, I'm so sorry for your loss of your cat too. Yeah, it came on suddenly. She was already on we're grateful that we had the money to keep her on heart medication and you keep them on cough medication because one of the things with heart failure, in the breed is, of course, their lungs fill with fluid. And she was great. She ate dinner that night. She was doing well. And then suddenly she was making a noise we had never heard before, like she couldn't catch her breath. And so we took her to the emergency vet and we saw her just struggling even after they gave her the medications that they had that might, put it clear the lungs of the fluid. She was just still not doing well, and I talked to my daughter and I said, "Even if they can stabilize her, we will be back here again, and it's not fair to her because it's like you're underwater." Because I had a brother who actually died of fibrosis of the lungs, and so we had to make that very difficult decision, and when we did, they said we have they had, like, one of those Amazon Dots or whatever, like, a thing that you could play music on. She's like, "We'll bring that in so you can play music, you take your time, um, with her to say goodbye." They medicate her so she's not, suffering while you're saying goodbye, and we asked this little dot thing to play a song by Switchfoot, and instead it played this other song first by them, and it's "Life is Short and Wanna Live It Well." I think it's "Live It Well" is the title of the song, but the lyric says, "Take these anchors off my lungs," and we just looked at each other and cried. We were like, "Okay, that's confirmation." It's almost like God allowed the song to, speak to us because Rezzy couldn't. And it gave us peace. And the song that we asked was 4 was "I Won't Let You Go." So it was interesting. The other one came on first, and we just sang to the songs and loved on her, and then yeah, helped her go over the Rainbow Bridge. It was really hard with Lincoln Park group on the bass guitar. We have the one. So are you traveling with them at all and doing opener, Garrett? Yes, she is awesome, absolutely. I have to come over and visit her channel more often. Yeah. Right, Miss Sharon. It's funny because I get a lot of stuff that isn't my genre, but I still can, respect the what goes into it, and, I think actually Linkin Park came through, my shorts, because I was, listening to different stuff from Eminem and Dr. Dre and, 50 Cent, and, I think who else was thrown in there. And really, that was after I think it was either yeah, it was after we had been married and bought our new place, and, I was turning into a mom, so I wasn't listening to Eminem in the house with the F-bombs dropping all the time. But, like, all those bars, I forget who he was it wasn't DMX, I'm trying to think who it was he was talking about, but they were going back and forth with bars, um and that's just, like, rhymes, like, if you don't know, it's just, like, their their lyrics, how they rhyme them and drop them to the beat, and, they would, like, keep going back, like, one would write 5 bars, and the next one would up it to 10, and I think they got to I think it was, like, crazy numbers, like 50 bars in the song, and, the guy finally was like, "Are we writing this for people like our fans? Like, who are we writing this for?" But a lot of, rappers say they don't like to, like, they don't ever wanna diss Eminem because he's ruined people's careers. Thank you, yeah, it was. Oh, doggy potty time. Thank you, official Oh, Vidra! Hey, welcome in. Hope you're doing well. Totally understand that. Yeah. This little girl too likes to go out more often, but I think it's because they told us she already had a bladder stone when we got her and they did surgery. And I know, once they do surgery on your bladder, even as a human, you tend to need to go to the bathroom more. So she's good about going out, do her little thing and coming back in, doing little sniffs. Um, Typical dog though, she has eaten stuff in the grass, and I am concerned about the wet season here with the cane toads. Yeah, I haven't seen you in a while, Peter. I hope you're doing well. Oh, good, you are? Oh, wonderful. Okay. Oh, thank you. Everybody, Crystal the Yarny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady. That's who made this. Telling you, that's a great thing to do for people who have lost their pets that they love because they can hug them again. Thank you, Crystal, so much. You've blessed us. And Passamaquoddy for thinking of that. Oh, that's you're still okay. Still have that job where you can work and listen at night. But really, I don't have a lot of updates. Like Shawnee was saying, like, what are you doing with your garden? Basically watering what I have already. I'm hoping I have a Israeli fig that I'm hoping will take to soil. I got it to start from cutting, and then I have some other figs that I've gotten. I think the Bordeaux, and I don't know what the other one is. The other one is a mystery. I'm sure I'll find it. I had gotten two things from Tractor Supply, and I can't find the sheath that went over the starts to tell you what I've got. All things. And, so I'm just trying to keep everything alive, trying to keep them watered because we are very dry right now. We haven't hit our rainy season. The weather's been all over the place. I think the cold snaps actually, like Glenn said, I should have more fruit on the mulberries that I got cuttings from him, but they fruited earlier and now they're not really flowering a lot, whereas my everbearing is loaded with flowers and is going to fill up again. So I'm hoping that one does too. Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have to monitor it too. I find that too, because some of it's dark. And in fact, when I was in my let's say I was about 24, it was a guy, a friend from church, and he was like, because I was telling him like about my emotions and um just coming out of the world and, that atmosphere and how it was hard, and he's like, "You need to change your music and what you're listening to," and it made sense because it bypasses a lot in your brain and goes right for your emotional center. So, yeah, I'm very careful about it. Um, once I notice certain things about myself and emotionally, I have to back off. Aw, I had to put my silly Lily says, "I had to put my dog Leah down at vet. Wondered if she knew how much I loved her. Got home, decided to watch a movie online to take my mind off of her. First suggestion was Love and Leah." Oh, she knew. I love kisses from heaven like that. Absolutely. And that's what we needed too in that moment was just confirmation we were doing the right thing. Um, because you wanna pull out all the stops. You wanna rescue them if you can, but she had been on her heart medication for years. We got actually more years out of her than expected. Because once they hear the heart murmur, they talk about usually the dog, you will have them for maybe 2 more years. The vet had just told me because I asked her because we were wondering what was going on because we were seeing her cough more, and they seemed like a little bit rougher, the coughs. And I had asked the vet about that timetable, and she said, "Well, that's for people who didn't medicate their dogs, that study." And I was like, felt relief, and I think it was within that week after visiting the vet that we lost her. So it was like, shoot, like we knew. And of course, what's sweet is, the vet, once we it was Banfield, once we canceled our Banfield, which by the way, for those of you who don't know, if you go and get Banfield's plan, that is a 12-month plan. So if your pet dies 3 months into that plan, you are paying the rest of the year, all those months, even though you're not using any of it. Uh, and I didn't know that. My husband knew because it happened with Dora, but I didn't know, and I was like, "What?" I was so like, "What?" Because it was, I wanna say, over $1,000 that night at the emergency vet, but that was also with, the cremation added on, and I couldn't not add that on for my daughter. It was the first time she ever had to be present for that, and, when we were visiting my parents, actually, that is when Dora's health completely failed, and she lost the use of, like, her limbs. Um, and she had been fading, like, I mean, it was mostly sleeping and kinda just like how you see Alzheimer's progress in a person, it started to progress in her, the dementia, the doggy dementia, and she was sleeping a lot, not really, doing much. She still loved food though, so that gave us hope. She could still walk to her dish, eat her food, go outside, do her potty. We would sometimes carry her to do her potty. But while we were away and I'm watching my dad with Alzheimer's doing the wandering and everything, my husband calls and says, "I had to take Dora." And he told me what happened, and, we were just so devastated. But Rezzy was there with us, and she knew something was up because she could feel it from us, so she would come up between Hannah and I on our blow up mattress up there and just snuggle in near us, like, near our faces. So sweet. Yeah, so sweet. But, yeah, I don't mean to be so depressing, but this was just wonderful, and, yeah, I don't know how that goes. I don't know if Pat McQuarrie is still there in the background, if, you know, Crystal, does this on the side, but it's such a lovely thing to do, to honor a pet and also, for snuggling, like, when you just wanna hug them, you know? Yeah, they are like they are family. Absolutely. And they're that family that's always happy to see you. Like, you can totally be a screw up that day. You can be a screw up the day before and be in a bad mood, and the dog is so happy to see you when you come home, and it's all forgotten. Totally a precious gift. I agree, Mike. Um, gosh, I'll cry. And when you say that so Lily too, the they too are linked to people that maybe we have loved and have passed, that that person knew that dog and had, or cat, and had a relationship with them, and now both are gone. And I think that's what tore me up so much with Riz. Sorry, because she was with us on that last visit when both my parents were alive. Okay, good. Aw, I totally understand. Like, I get it. There's some of us that just have that type of heart. Get it. I had ducks that would constantly visit us, and this girl, like, we would feed them, and we enjoyed them visiting, and they had babies, and the babies grew up and would visit, and all of a sudden, they just disappeared, you know? And, we have a lot of, predators and stuff here, but we also have people who are predators and kids who are mean to animals, and so we didn't know what happened to them, and I remember this girl being like, "They're just ducks to me," and I was like, "You're heartless, like, what do you mean they're just?" No, we built, like, this really neat relationship with them. They came running to us and were happy to see us because they knew we had food, of course. Yeah, this is great. So anyone who wants to do the same thing like Passamaquoddy did or wants to commemorate their own pet, they can get in touch with Crystal. Let me go back to her channel and pop it up because Crystal the Yarny Chicken and Crazy Cat Lady. My memory almost failed me. There it is too, right there. Oh, thank you, Mike. Appreciate it. It is weird how we get so attached to those animals that we'll see over and over again while we're gardening or outside. Oh, thank you, Miss Sharon. Oh, okay. She can be found on Facebook. Her email is the same as her channel name. Okay, but at Gmail. Thank you, Passamaquoddy. I'll try and see if I can get the links and put them in a post with the pictures that I had sent you. Oh no, he even came to your steps looking for help. Oh. Do you know how long is their lifespan, the squirrels? That's what my I had a family member who actually they had rats. And rats are supposedly the pet rats are supposedly very emotional and they get very attached to their people and they're kind of like um yeah, they became like family to these two family members, and the one was saying she wouldn't have rats or cats or anything after the rats because of the short lifespan and how it devastated them. Yep, there you go. To feed them, and I'm sure they love your presence too. Although they're cats, so they, will never admit it. Me too, silly Lily. I know some people are like, "Oh, animals, they don't have souls," and I'm like, "Pfft, whatever. we've entertained angels unaware is what, my Bible says, and it never says that they have to be people. So I totally agree that, if heaven is a place that has no more tears or any of the bad stuff that we experience here, it's definitely got our pets in a form that I think we will recognize them just running around having a great time. You have to direct them so they don't trip you when I'm going down the stairs. Yep, I get that. That's this little one now, Rosie. She's all around my feet. And she has this weird thing. I have a big changing table for Malachi. It was actually my dad built it, and it was his he built a stereo, and so it was kinda in bad shape, so I just repainted it and took the old doors off of it because it was, like, starting to get that age smell, and the doors were, like, levered, and some of them were the levers were broken from my nephews and things. I put some wheels on it, and I was using it first as an organizer, and now I use it as, to help change Malachi because of his autism. She does not like that, and what I figured out, I thought at first, she was trying to protect Malachi. No, she's jealous because I picked her up one time and put her in my arm and tried to change him with one hand just to see what it was about. It's jealousy. Stinker. Aw, thanks, Storms, Radios, and Cats. Appreciate that. And yes, please check out Miss Sharon's channel too, and maybe we'll get like some shorts or something out of her for this season. Is listed in her description. Oh, great. Okay, it's on her channel about page. Okay, great. Oh, thank you, Storms. You're awesome. I have to come back and get that. 3 years wild, 8 domestic. These are semi-wild. Yeah, they're your buddies that come visit you. I totally get it. I was kind of like these little ducks, they were our buddies too. And then all of a sudden they just disappeared. And then the girl was just like, I don't, get your obsession with these ducks. And they're ducks. They're what? I'm like, bye. Kind of like that commercial where people have the like homemade dog food in the fridge, which I am, making the food homemade. And, you know, they're like, ew. And the pet owner just throws them out of the house. It is. You're right. Oh, they are. Oh, that's why, because there's 0 rats in Alberta and they don't want them. I totally understand that. I wish they would have done that with, certain reptiles down here. Yeah, they are. They're a total blessing upon man, that's for sure. I totally agree. Yeah. I think there is a lot of gardeners that we tend to love animals also. Something about that connection with creation. It doesn't just, stop at plants. Yep. Yep. I believe it too. I totally believe it too. Oh, wild. Okay. Look, I'm a Canadian folks. I didn't realize you were up there too, silly Lily. That's one of the things I have to actually plant. I got stargazer, are they bulbs or corms? I forget what they're called when they're lilies. I'm not really sure. Hold on, let me wipe my nose a little bit. I always cry through my nose. Even on my wedding video, you just hear me going, kind of ruin the audio of the video. I think so too. Yep. They'll be in their best condition. Absolutely, just like us, as you understand it. Yeah, I know. I can't wait to well, I can wait. I don't have to go to heaven, too soon. got my kids, but oh, is it those tiny little monkeys? They are so cute, but then you're left with, like, a little toddler that can you gotta put diapers on too, that can actually grab things above you, and if it gets loose and you don't diaper it, ooh, you're a sla you're being you're allowed to be a slacker once in a while, come on. Oh, neat. Yeah, they are family. And I know too, Passamaquoddy likes her wild animals too that visit, and she gets concerned about them when they don't show up. Yeah, I've seen the family that has the little monkeys, and they've got, like, the whole house, like, set up for them, and the monkeys get so excited when their humans come in, and it's really adorable. But I have my kids to still raise, and Rosie is enough added on top of that. I can't imagine little monkeys. I mean, I could. I mean, I would love the cuddly part, but she is one of the hardest working mods, I'm pretty sure. That definitely should go to her. You're slacker. Hey, it's a balance. That happened to me too when I used to be a big supporter of other channels. Was I just didn't really pay much attention to my channel at all. Oh, love Dark Paw. How sweet. Yeah, they can get nasty. They can get nasty, that's for sure. Especially when they hit puberty. I think that's what happened with Michael Jackson's Jacko. The chimpanzee hit puberty and became very unruly. And that's why, like, he didn't make appearances with them anymore. Right? He must like that blanket. Passamaquoddy's such a giver. I wrote how we need spaces for animal friends. Yep, we do. I agree. I agree. I agree. That's great. Yeah. Oh, you do? That's awesome. Night, how to garden. Thanks for coming in. Appreciate the support, Glenn. Look forward to any good news coming your way too, man. Oh, speaking of news, I forgot to mention it. It is in my community tab. Um, Many of you know this channel, but this person, his name is Adam, and his channel is Flying Fox Fruits. I always want to say farms, like the soil people and the fertilizer people. Uh, but it's Flying Fox Fruits. He's up in Central Florida. He's actually near Orlando, or at least close enough to Orlando to where he might be dealing with an eminent domain situation coming up. He is going to go to his local meeting, like board meeting about the needing, excuse me, an extension, I guess, for this very busy like highway that they have up there. That one of the plans shows it paving right over his farm. And he has like rare fruit trees in the ground in his farm. He's the Jaboticaba grower, and he has, some rare Jaboticabas. He, yeah, he's on Facebook. Could just use positive support. Maybe, when it comes up, I just hope, they choose another way. But if they do choose to do that, that they heavily compensate him, which is a concern because our land prices, and Glenn, if he's still in the background, will tell you, because the builders are still building and elevating the prices of the houses and the land. Um, I don't know if he'll get equal to what he has now, you know, kinda like how when you total your car and they give you money to go out and get a new car, you don't end up with equal to what you had before. So, definitely putting the word out to support him. Yeah, there you go. They're gonna put a road right through that man's house, exactly. So yeah, flying fox fruits, just go over and, show some support to him and, um, some prayers that they won't do that because there are, I think, a couple other options they said, but, it's when they're doing city planning and things like that, it's all about the money and the convenience, and if his it will cost less money for them and it's convenient, yeah, it's not gonna be cool. And he's got a lot of trees that he would have to move, not to mention possibly store somewhere before moving them to a new property. Oh, okay. Did you have another channel, Deidre, where you talked about that? I don't, remember you talking about aliens that much. I just remember you being a supporter and always working, and I remember about, like, your I think your knee, which my husband's dealing with now. Yes, they totally are right now. Right, do not move to Florida right now. Plus, if you are gonna move to Florida and try to change it, don't move here either. We are so tired of Northeastern people coming here and complaining that it is not the Northeast. I'm just saying. A lot of Floridians have had it up to here with that. And also changing just how things are in certain areas to serve them, kind of. It's just, yeah. Price out comparable properties plus cost. Yeah, he needs to. The cost of the trees too, if they're damaged. Um, because I mean, some of them have been in the ground for years and maybe damage to those roots or the tap root of the tree, and he might lose it. He might lose that rare tree. So yeah, absolutely, I agree with you. I agree with you. Oh, he loves your throw blanket that Passamaquoddy made. Oh, how sweet. Hey, what's up, Gold Coast Granny? Good to see you. Exactly, after all the work they've done, and I actually just put in an order. I've got a shirt, and I'm gonna probably do a short again about it. Don't know, if I'll get in trouble for it. I did send him a link to, and it got taken down right away, so I'm hoping he saw it and he pulled it. Uh But, he might already know, like, there's representation up there near Orlando that is not as costly as, trying to get a regular lawyer. Yeah, maybe. I'm not sure. It's just I don't know. Money just talks here right now, and we're just the all the builders are really inflating the prices. And then people are trying to get exorbitant amounts for their land that they do have that they've been holding on to, and I can't blame them because, some like my parents had land for the longest time that I wish they were able to hold on to that was up near Weeki Wachee. Um, and yeah, it would be worth way more than what they sold it for. Yeah, he's on Facebook and he's on YouTube. He has a YouTube channel. Pete Canaris had him on one time, and that's how I found him. Had him on about his rare fruit, his rare jaboticabas. And then he also has the other one I would love to get is a lemon drop mangosteen that he has. It's the larger one. He bought up several miles of road to add 4 lanes to Highway 27 just outside of Somerset. It was so weird not seeing the same. Yeah, isn't that weird when they do that? When they widen roads and have to take out things and reroute things. It is weird because I go by my like visuals like that too. Storms. Yep. Yeah, it's not good what's going on here with that. Not to mention all of a sudden these fires. And then I'm seeing people that are in the "Hey, Beth, welcome in." I'm seeing people that are in, like, the chat underneath these posts about the fires, like, "Oh, well, we have fire season and da da da." I've lived here 40 years. The only fire season we used to have was from Big Sugar. We didn't have fires going off like this. Yeah, maybe once in a while, a wildfire because somebody flicked a cigarette off of, Alligator Alley or the turnpike and it hit some of the dry brush. We have dry season, which is winter here. Things go dormant. We don't get as much rain, but I've never seen the fires breaking out like they are now. And like it's just to shut people down from looking into it more. Like, oh, you guys are just conspiracy theorists. Like, oh, okay, sure. So we're the ones about JFK, and look at how that turned out now that we have those CIA documents. Yeah, I wish you could have our weather. I know, like, oh my gosh, Beth, glad you can make it in. Oh, well, you know what? It's all our history, and it shouldn't be segregated anymore. It should be all inclusive. And I'm glad that they did that where they brought in, Black history, Asian history, women's studies. Those things haven't disappeared. They just are all American history, and they should be taught as that. We have a combined history that everyone should know, and that it should be um, married together and not taught so separately, I guess, is what I'm trying to say. Like, white students in the 80s didn't know about all the Black inventions, didn't know about all the Black inventors, didn't know any of that. The Black artists, nope, nope. Just maybe like the more recent, contributions. Oh, that's great, diversity love. Well, universities still have them. I mean, they didn't totally disappear in Florida. That's lies. That's not true. That's propaganda. It's still here. We're currently under a burn ban. People doing dumb things, causing not. Yeah. And like we have those too. Like when it gets really dry, there's burn bans and people do dumb stuff. Yeah, that's just, yeah, so frustrating. Wow. That's scary. That was 26 years ago. Yeah. Yeah, I know, and you go back really far too, and we had the riots and stuff. Yep. Florida's got a mingled history like everyone. Oh, okay, silly Lily, have sweet sleep. Thank you for coming in and hanging out with us and your contributions to the chat. I appreciate it so much. Oh, good for you. That's wonderful. I'm excited for you too. Hey, thanks. I hope you're doing good too, Tofu. I was just showing everybody what Passamaquoddy got me. Um, and Crystal, the crazy chicken and cat lady. We've got her linked. Um, made me it. She ordered it from Crystal, and it's a little Resi. It's just the perfect size, like Resi was exactly the size, so I can hug on it. Because I had a post about Resi passing. Isn't it sweet and cute? Hey, Gear. Miss Garrett coming in here talking about Linkin Park's new album, as I still call them. They call them vinyls now. Thank you. I hope you're good too, Tofu. Yeah. Yeah, we had stuff going on even up in Palm Beach in the schools, in the public schools in the 70s. We got here though in 78 when it was like starting to cool off a bit. Yeah. I explained I had to change it to eventually fit the nursery I would like to have, backyard nursery, but also because the southfloridasunshine.com was gone when I went to purchase my domain. So we're just gonna go with that. But so what, I guess I was gonna ask you guys how your gardening is going this season, but you did that in Shawnee's. I do still have, and I hope I can get them in the ground, some flowers to go in, the stargazer lily, like I said, to silly lily. I've put in canna lily corms. I have taro root to put in elephant ears. It's trying to decide where I'm going to put the elephant ears because they get big and they spread out. But to me, once they reproduce, that's a survival crop. You can eat them. Yay! You got two tomato plants. I have one that I was looking at today that's a volunteer, and I'm like, "Is that a potato or a tomato?" I'm like, "I'm not sure. That's a volunteer, but I think it's a potato." We'll see. I got 2 tomatoes actually. Our, Whole Foods was doing starts. So, yeah, if you guys didn't see that conversation, if you weren't in earlier with Shawnee Grows, she had that. Yeah, tell us, how does your garden grow? What's done and what needs to be done? I have I have the elevated beds that I do have soil in. I already have full of like cipollini onion starts and what else is in that? I am going to probably get rid of the CISO spinach. I'm fed up with that. It gets soft scale and I really don't want to continue to deal with it. I might just move it off into a corner somewhere and maybe deal with it later with some, insecticidal organic soap or something to see if that'll kick it. The neem oil is not kicking them. From having 0 fruit trees requiring 2 persimmons, 1 peach, 1 mulberry, and an apricot. Nice! And a nectarine. Oh, and 6 blue. Good job! Was that after you guys put up your panels like you were doing? Sounds like you're gonna have like an awesome, awesome garden. I have one, one, two. I have about 4 blueberry bushes, 2 southern high bushes, and 2 are sunshine. Is one Biloxi my fig or is that the blueberry? One might be an emerald, and then the other one, I don't know if it's a Biloxi. I'm not quite sure. I have to go check tags, but that's awesome. You got quite a lot. That's what happened to me when I went to that fruit sale. I mean the plant that I did the video on, I picked up quite a few trees and I could have kept going except for I was exhausted and the money was running out. But I mean, the guy, uh, Jimmy Go Tropical, gave me such a deal on my red Jabotacaba, 20 bucks. And it is just growing, like putting on new growth. And that's the one that'll it fruits faster than the Sabra. My Sabra is getting close. The bark is starting to peel. But now I have like the red Jabotacaba, I have the Sabra, I have another Jabotacaba coming from Adam at Flying Fox Fruit. And that's a start. That's like a little baby. I have some seeds coming from him, which are red Jabota. Kaba seeds, but he has a lot of cross-pollination on his farm, so it might be a hybrid. It probably will be a hybrid, once I try and grow them out. I forgot, where's my phone? I had a surprise when I went out into the garden. Um, as you know, I have those roses. They have that weird name that I can never remember. But dun, 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 let me see if I can blow it up better. I've got my first bud. It's so little. I hope they open to like 4 inches. Maybe the first ones are smaller than the rest. Gulf Coast Granny, because you're my rose queen. See. Yeah, I hear that. Well, like my seeds that I started seem to be slower than slow this year. I noticed I planted two different types of nasturtiums, and it looks like only the variegated turned uh, are really going. I don't know what happened to the others. And I wish I would have planted more of them because just the leaves themselves look really pretty. Oh, wow. I'm glad you guys are getting out there and enjoying a vacation. That's wonderful. But that and my roselle is just taking its sweet time, Duncan. And the same thing with my butterfly pea starts. They're like this big, they grow like really slow. Poppy is building my gate for the new fence garden tomorrow. We're going to start. Hey, that's wonderful. I still have to make two more beds, the two more raised beds, and then I've got to think about where I'm going to position them and how I'm going to fill them. We were actually at the ocean just to go there to see it because my daughter was on Indeed and was supposed to meet with possible new job interview. Person never showed. She sat there for 20 minutes online. And the person never showed after she had confirmed it, and the person was like, "Yes, I'll be there." Never showed. Never sent her anything as to why they didn't. So I took her to Chick-fil-A and we went to go see the ocean. Tons of sargassum seaweed that I wanted to steal, but I had no like bags to bring it home in. Plus, I didn't really want to do that. Malachi was with us, and I didn't want to do that because he would want to go right into the ocean, and it was very, very choppy and big. Rest on Sunday and back. I can Slave Factory on Monday. Oh man. Yeah, I would be probably using the sick day. Shh, didn't hear that from me. That sounds so exciting, Gulf Coast Granny. Is it set up like, you were saying you guys were using wood? Is it set up like a deer fence? Like I've seen some people do all around like their garden? Yeah, you guys have been working hard. That'll be great for your channel. I'd be super excited too, exactly like what Duncan said. Oh, and a Satsuma Annameyer lemon. Yeah, I saw, what was it? I saw it online, Facebook Marketplace. I have to still look it up. It was a special lemon that I hadn't heard of, and it doesn't have any thorns on it. And I was like, that one might be the one for me. The trees I want is pear and avocado, maybe another citrus. The fruit's later than the Satsuma. What type of avocado are you getting? I want to get an avocado too, but I want to get the Russell, which is the long neck. But I also have to actually look it up a little bit more to see how big that tree is with those big old avocados. Aw, there is one I think that is somewhat cold hardy, but yeah, even people in northern Florida get kind of like that about the mangoes. But you guys have the pawpaw. Hey, Cornell Box, good to see you. Thank you. I appreciate that. You know, I have never made you a mod because you have enough modding to do on your channel. You're so good about responding to everybody over there and really answering questions. Um, you're doing an amazing job, and thank you for your compliment. I started to write back to the vet, um, and I was like, I don't know if I wanna, because everybody was kinda responding to him. But my dad too, World War II, spoke in German, even after he married my mother in '69, was still, sleep talking in German, and he found his peace in the garden, just like you were talking about on your channel. That was a recent video that Growing Out of the Box put out, and it's so true. Like, he found a lot of peace in working outside, um, growing his garden, and then when we got here, tending the fruit trees and landscaping the outside of the house. He was landscaping and even doing it for another family in, like, a very wealthy neighborhood, until he was 84, and it really helped him. That just keeping his hands busy helped him a lot. No, there's supposed to be, like, an apple. I wanted to get one actually because 'cause they're kind of like a tropical apple from what I've heard, but they're small. There's, which is a beautiful bud. I missed the my you saw okay, I'm caught up. There we go. Yeah, for the rose. I'm sorry. Thank you. It's really small, so I'm hoping they'll get larger, just like, um, even fruit trees with fake interviews. Careful with fake interviews. I'm I'm not sure what you mean by that, diversity love. Mm, not sure. I'm sorry, sweetheart. As the rose bush grows, it gets stronger. Okay, they will get better and bigger. Awesome. Bigger, not better. Okay. Hopefully they'll get both, I hope. All I've been using is neem and it seems to be controlling right now the, you know, bugs and such. Okay, sort of like a deer fence. Okay. Yeah, it'll be a really pretty one with the wood added onto it. Thank you, Miss Sharon, for dropping growing out of the box. But yeah, I will. No, why is it not doing that? That doesn't make sense. Oh, because I'm on the wrong side. Sorry, guys. Just give me a second. When I came on tonight, my eyes were doing weird things. There. This is just, that's just so you can drop your own links growing out of the box. No pressure to mod in my channel. You've got a lot to do on your own. Oh, Shawnee's still here in the background. Thank you. Thank you for looking out for me. Oh, you don't like Papa? It's a texture thing. Huh. Okay. Well, then you wouldn't like the cherimoyas or the soursops either, because it's a similar texture and they're related to that kind of family of like the custard apples and stuff. I have a red custard apple. I actually have two starts. We'll see how they do. They're just starting to come out of dormancy. They're really ugly in dormancy. They just kind of drop all their leaves, and you get like two leaves on a stick. In fact, people had um, sugar apples and custard apples, and they didn't even bring them to the Planapalooza because they look so bad. Okay, a dwarf, semi-dwarf that would grow here. I forget what zone you're in again, Gulf Coast Granny. I really just wanna taste one. You okay? Good to have you, Ian. Welcome in, and, good morning again over there in Turkey. Okay, wait a minute, where am I? Being in the garden in the early morning. Oh, this is so pretty. Duncan says, "In the early morning, it's so easy to talk with God there, and my garden loves it too." Yep, I like that time too. It's really hard to get out there though with little Malachi because then he's usually off doing something that kind of takes my peace away. Yep, I agree. But what has helped is with this new dog is bringing the ball out there and letting Malachi play ball. and I can do a little bit, but both of them seem to like the hose and wanna get wet, and yeah. Oh, okay, I'll let her know. That's what I said. I said maybe it was shady. But she checked out like my daughter's pretty intelligent. She checked out that they had a business license and everything, but it could have been somebody like you said, just claiming to be that, you know, company and trying to do that. That's awful. Yeah, I told her, to somehow report them because I mean, not even a nothing to say why they couldn't make it. You love cherimoya? Oh my gosh, you would love soursop. Have you had soursop, GT? I wanna try the sugar apple and I haven't had one. That's known as sweet sop too. I have to start packing. I will try to be. I don't blame you. Oh, too many projects and I get it. I totally get it, Feature. That's why I'm not making videos right now in my life and just doing the lives when I can. I totally get that feeling. Hey, Howie! Welcome in to Forest Permaculture. You have a great weekend too, Feature. I appreciate it. Everybody's happy to see Ann coming back in and waking up, and Howie. Okay, you're in 9A. I know, right? That's mine too. That's why I was like, you know what? I'm gonna just try and see if that rose will be okay here because I've got microclimates in my yard that I might be able to, it might be fine. And they might have known that about the rose too, because different websites put different times. Oh, you got a honey jar jujube. Yep, that's what I've heard about them too. Okay, yep. I wanted to get one just because I've seen some that possibly can grow and be like an apple in the tropics. But the one thing about the tropics is, um, like a lot of our fruit is soft and not crisp. They will do like some people will eat the cashew apple, and there's another one, but it's more shaped like a pear and it doesn't have much flavor. Oh, you did? Oh, yeah, and Diva's on some R&R. We'll try and get it for you once she's off R&R. But congratulations on joining the 50 club. You made it. Good, go plant seedlings out in the garden. It decided it wants to rain now. Yeah, I totally hear that. Yep, that would happen to me. Either that or I would be sick on the weekends and be really not doing well, and I couldn't get out. Old store nursery pot that he has been turning around the yard playing keyboard with. That's cute. Oh, you would like it. If you like cherimoya, I think you would love soursop. My soursop on my tree, in fact, I don't think I ever posted that. I think that's still in my phone. I might have to post it up. Um, is not like the Jamaican soursop. I love the Jamaican soursop in that it has that sour, which is really when they say sour, it's acidic. It has like that acidic hit, and then sweet. Mine is just kind of mildly acidic and mostly sweet and mild, but it's like one of those flavor profiles that's hints of all different tropical flavors, but then it has that hit of acid and sweetness, and I don't know, it's like it makes you crave it. I don't know how to explain it. Like I was craving it, like having to go and get one like as often as possible. Because I think it's called El Presidente had them. Oh, I've never heard of that. It's thing will keep mud away and water play. I'll have to look into it to see if we can grow something like that because we don't have too many soft lawns here in South Florida. We have lawns that grow like weeds, and right now those lawns are facing something called the mosaic virus. It's like a sugarcane mosaic virus. It does sound pretty good, doesn't it, Gold Coast Granny? I had a rose in Jack's that bloomed from March to December. It was red, and I can't remember his name. Yeah, this one has a weird name. I had it up, and I don't know if I closed the window. I think I did. Yeah, I did. I hate that when I can't remember the name of my own plants that I have. Yes, happy birthday, Vitra. Wish you many more. And you're not gonna probably get me singing because my voice is hoarse tonight. And it won't be as sweet as Diva's, of course. Right? Yeah, 50s are great. Finally become content with life. Well, and I think you, um, like that ribbon where you take out the ribbon and it's like you realize midlife is not 50s and you better, do those things because, yeah, life is short. Oh, how nice. The wild ones are always so nice. Yeah, this is, I guess, gonna be a spring bloomer. We'll see how late. It's a climbing rose. We'll see how late it goes into the year, but that would be great. That's so funny you brought up jujube, and of course, growing out of the box is like, yep, I got one of those. Someone just gave me one. I was like me seeing Epic Garden pull out the ice cream bean that GT Jr. and I were talking about. And by the way, I think I told you, GT, my 45-year-old plant tree, I don't know what happened to it. Just disappeared. I put it in the ground and it just disappeared. It was so small though. I need to get one that's larger. Okay, yeah, I'm gonna call it too because my husband is working tomorrow and I'll be getting up early. And Sharon says, South Florida sunshine tropicals in chat. I have to go. About to turn into a pumpkin again. Thanks for joining us in the chat. Yes, thank you, Miss Sharon. And I'm glad you got to have a little time off thanks to Barry. But I am going to call it a night and thank Passamaquoddy again for this beautiful, beautiful gift. And I will have Crystal's link in the description possibly, or I will put it up in my posts community tab after. And again, please remember Adam over at Flying Fox Fruits and just, show a little support to him. Say, hey, hi, praying for you, whatever, however you want to show support to him. He's also got a website, got some rare plants. You want to get one of those, it's up to you. Um, but thank you so much, everybody, for joining me. I really appreciate just hanging out with you, and especially some of you I've known for years. I'm very grateful that you're in my life, and you've made those times that are difficult a lot easier to walk through. And also just watching, you walk through your stuff too helps me. So thank you so much, guys. Have a wonderful night, and we will see you hopefully over at Shawnee Grows tomorrow night. She has another live, I believe. She said 9 Central, 10 p.m. Eastern. Hopefully you will be there. We'll see you later. And I don't know if Barry's doing his live, but he usually does it at 9:30 Eastern too on Sunday nights. Bye, everyone. Have a blessed night.